Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mould of form, the observed of all observers. Quiet, quiet down. And I, a lady's most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of tune and hush, the unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen, see what I see. Okay, let me try that again.
Okay, just relax and...
So different to a sonnet.
Look what he says to you. I have heard of your paintings too, well enough. God hath given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig, you amble, and you lisp, and nickname God's creatures, and make your wantonness your ignorance. So too, I'll no more on it. It hath made me mad. I say we will have no more marriage. Those that are married already, all but one, shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go. Now, how does she take that? Does she take it literally? Does she understand that he's, but she has lied to him. Where's your father? Where's your father? At home, my lord. Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell. Oh, help him, you sweet heavens. Oh, help him, you sweet heavens. If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery, farewell, or if thou wilt needs marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery go, and quickly too, farewell. Heavenly powers restore him. I have heard of your paintings. Right? So he keeps making these moves to leave, but he comes back at her and throws all of this invective in her face. And then he finally does go. But this is after she's lied to him. Where's your father? At home, my lord. Up to that point, he's been very, very, very honest with her. You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not. I was the more deceived. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? Right? Very, very honest. Go thy way to a nunnery. Where's your father? So, people say, well, there were different ways of, different meanings of nunnery. Some, nunnery was what it actually is, a cloister for nuns, or it was a slang way of referring to a whorehouse, right? So maybe in one part of the scene he means it in its actual meaning, and then in the second part he means it in the other way. You lied to me, like all the other women. Women cannot be trusted. You lie. You paint yourselves. You pretend. You hide yourselves behind paint, and you dance and you do all of this stuff, and you drive us crazy. Go, and then the last thing he says is, to a nunnery, go. In what sense does he mean it? To a whorehouse? Or to really go to a cloister? Get away from this have to bring that on. So when you're ready, try it again. Again, Joe, really, what's really helpful is to think, what thought am I creating on the spot, and what comes out already fully formed?
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mould of form, the observed of all observers, quiet, quiet down, and I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh, the unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Okay. So, let's say that you're thinking on your feet all the way through eye, tongue, sword. And then the expectancy and rose of the fair stage is a fully formed thought. The glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, fully formed thought. The quite down is, you're searching for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I, thinking on your feet of ladies most deject and wretched. Remember, there's this thing in Hamlet that is so important. Deject and wretched, not deject and wretched. Of ladies most deject and wretched. Noble and most sovereign reason. Out of tune and harsh, not out of tune and harsh. That unmatched form and feature, not form and feature of blown youth, right?
Yep.
Form and feature. Deject and wretched, noble and most sovereign reason, out of tune and harsh. They belong together. And so just keep that in mind, and it won't break up the verse so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Really think about the ones, how you're thinking on your feet, and then how the thought is fully formed already. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mould of form, the observed of all observers, quiet down, and I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh, the unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Okay, better. Now see that quick breath. Now see that quick breath, noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells. Find it, right? Sweet bells. What are bells? Jangled, out of tune and harsh. That breath, unmatched form and feature, breath of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy, so that those things that belong together, like expectancy and rose, fashion and mold of form.
Damn, he has so many.
Eject and rest. They don't get broken up.
Uh-huh.
And I think if you take a breath just about before every one of those, you won't break it up like that. It will give the sense of you thinking on your feet.
Should I just try it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers. Quiet down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh, the unmatched form and feet. Sorry, I'm realizing I'm breaking these things up again. Let me try.
Okay, just have to.
Just trying to navigate through them is just not really happen again.
I mean, you know, it's sometimes just because we rush the breath, and then we find ourselves unprepared. So just make sure you don't rush the breaths, and probably you'll have to rethink where some of the breaths are going now.
Yeah, yep. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers. Quiet down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh, the unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Yeah, much better.
It's very different when you stick them together.
Yeah, but taking those little breaths, now see that breath, noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells, breath. How how do I, like sweet bells, how do I describe it? Like sweet bells, breath, jangled out of tune and harsh, jangled out of tune and harsh. That unmatched, I really like the way you did that. That unmatched form, that unmatched, I think you took a breath there, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Maybe a little breath right before feature, right after feature or after of. That unmatched quick breath, form and feature, quick breath of blown youth. Breath blasted with ecstasy. Right? I mean, I think maybe just go back and reconsider the quality of the breaths and where they go again, right? But for the most part, this last go through, I really like the way you calibrated it. See what I see. Oh, don't. I don't think "woe is me" is a completed thought before you speak it. I think it's, oh, woe is me. It comes to you, right? Oh, woe is me. It's created on the spot. So seeing what I have seen. See what I see. Yeah. Want to try it one more time?
Yes. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword. The expectancy and rose of the fair state. The glass of fashion and the mold of form. The observed of all observers. Quiet down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that suck the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells, jangled out of tune and... Sorry, it's just... The first, let me just try it again.
Yeah.
The first one of the, deject and wretched really threw me off. Okay.
So I think jangled, like sweet bells, quick breath. Jangled, quick breath, out of tune and harsh.
Damn, okay.
If a bell is out of tune and harsh, it's jangled. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword. The expectancy and rose of the fair state. The glass of fashion and the mold of form. The observed of all observers. Quiet down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells, jangled out of tune and harsh, the unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Yeah, much better.
I missed.
Much better.
It was? Okay. I still missed half the breaths you suggested.
What's that?
I said I still missed a bunch of the breaths you suggested.
Well,
But, come on.
not really. Not really.
Okay.
I think you just have to solidify them and then just, recalibrate. really like what you did with "Oh, woe is me." That was really beautiful. What I have seen what I see. I mean, it's a rhyming couplet, isn't it? Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I have seen, see what I see. I think the first line, be clear on whether it's, it's thought up at the moment or a fully formed thought. And either is a legitimate choice, because she's been listening to him rail and rail and rail at her, and it could be fully formed. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown, right? Or it could be thought of at the moment, created at the moment. Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown, right? Courtiers, and then you're still thinking on the feet, the courtiers, soldiers, scholars. These are the things that he is. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, sword. And then everybody knows that he's next in line. It can be fully formed. Expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form. These are all things that you've already thought before. The observed of all observers. And then I like what you're doing with finding that, right? That you're searching for. And then you come to you, and I, of ladies most dejected and wretched. I like what you're doing. And then this is fully formed. That sucked the honey of his music vows. It's fully formed because I went through that. I fought that so many times in his presence. That sucked the honey of his music vows. Now see that noble, and I like what you took the breath, and now see that noble breath, noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells. I liked what you did there. Jangled, out of tune and harsh. That unmatched form, that unmatched needs a breath, right, a quick one. That unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. And then I really liked what you did. Oh, woe is me. Very good. So, I think just rethink all of that.
Yeah.
And then get back, but it's, there's no end to the detail work. So, let's bring it back.
Sure. Always reminds me of Robard saying that he worked on The Iceman Cometh every day of his life.
Yeah.
He said there was a never-ending number of discoveries to always be made. So.
Right. And I saw this documentary, believe it or not, about Rodney Dangerfield. You know who he was? Stand-up comedian.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with him. I know of his name.
Always one of my favorite comedians. He wrote his own material, and it was and the thing that people were amazed at was that he kept honing the jokes. He kept perfecting them so that there was no. So he got just the specific effect that he wanted. Taking out a syllable, doing, rethinking it, rewriting it. And people, other stand-up comedians that knew him thought, it's already great, it's already funny, why do you keep... And Dangerfield's response was always, oh, well, because you gotta kill him, right? And so he was just an artist in that way. And I never knew that about him. I didn't know that he wrote his own jokes. That they have this quality of having been around for years. It's just his delivery that seemed to make it funny, but it was both. It was his writing and his delivery that made it really funny. You get a chance to ever watch Rodney Dangerfield Shakespeare doing a stand-up bit, you'll see how really terrific he is. I mean, he's just great. And that's what we actors have to do also, is just keep working on the details.